In this video, we take a look at the breaking news about the Harry Potter miniatures game from Knight Models. Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. So today I thought I would just break some of the news about the Harry Potter miniatures game that was announced today from Knight Models. We've been waiting for what seems like forever for some information on this game. And today we finally got some. It's coming to Kickstarter in March. So what I thought I'd do is I would go through the teaser video that we saw today, break it down and see if we can glean some kind of information from it. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down the teaser trailer that we saw for the Harry Potter miniatures adventure game today from Knight Models. Starting with the title page here, we have J.K. Rowling's Wizarding World, which I assume is just a catch-all title. That means that the game will cover all of the Harry Potter world. A bit like how we've got the J.K. Rowling's Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Studios. It doesn't really tell us much more here, just that it is an adventure game rather than a skirmish game or something along those lines. It seems a little bit more like a board game, but who knows? So who knows? I'm sure we'll find out a little bit more as time goes on, but for now let's break down and see what we actually do know. Skipping to the end of the trailer, it gave us this page which is shows us it is coming to Kickstarter. It is coming to Kickstarter on March the 14th this year, so not too long to wait, and I'm assuming we'll get a little bit more information between now and then as well. What is interesting is this box. If this box is real and it's not just something for show, it looks like a metal tin, you know, the kind that you get kind of sweets in at Christmas or something like that. So it's quite interesting they're going to those kind of lengths, really, a nice metal tin for the game. But that would be a nice addition. So let's start by taking a look at some of the miniatures. So some of these you might have seen before when Knight Models have been teasing their Harry Potter stuff over time. Here we have Ron Weasley, we have Harry Potter, and we have Hermione Granger. What I would say is that these look like slightly older versions of the characters, so not from the first film, but the quality. I mean, the paint job really does do it a long way to show how good they are. But the sculpts are fantastic; they really are good quality. And this was the thing that made me look and keep searching for more information about the Harry Potter game. I'm sure I've read that these are about 35mm high, so a little bit bigger than the kind of normal 28mm scale. But the quality, like I say, there's a lot of movement in them. The way that the capes are kind of floating around, the way Hermione's scarf is floating around there, it really does show a lot of movement in those pictures. So let's move on to the next one. So here we have what I assume is really the kind of the Order of the Phoenix gang. We've got Mad-Eye Moody there on the left-hand side. I've seen this one quite a few times. This was definitely one of the original models that was shown from the sculpts. We've then got Professor Snape there. Again, the paint jobs really do them justice, but what's amazing is just how much they look like the actors that play these parts. Next up there in the middle with the pink or purple hair, we've got Tonks Lupin in there. I must apologise, I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan, so if I get any of this wrong, please don't shoot the messenger. But yeah, so we've got Tonks in the middle there. We've then got Remus Lupin. Again, quality. There's just the movement, just the creasing across the clothes, the look in the face. It's really, really uncanny just how good they've managed to get these sort of looking like the actors. And on the end there, we've got Sirius Black. And again, just a lot of flowing action and a lot of movement to the miniature, not a very static pose. So we'll move on. We'll take a look at some more of the miniatures now. So here we've got Malfoy's gang, really. On the left there, we've got Crabbe. In the middle, we've got Draco and Malfoy. And on the end there, we've got what looks like Gregory Goyle. So again, not too much more to say other than the fact that very kind of menacing. Nice that we've got looks like a pie or something in here in the guy's hand. But yeah, looks really good. Again, I've not seen these ones before, but the quality is definitely there right the way through the entire range. So moving on to some more. So here we've got, which I assume is probably part of the Dumbledore's army gang or something like that. So on the left we have Chu Chang. In the middle we've got Ginny Weasley. And on the right I assume that's Luna Lovegood. But again, a little bit of movement here. Just the little, just the standing on top of that stone there by Chu. It just gives a little bit of movement to that model. And just the way Ginny's got her legs crossed, it just looks really, really good quality. So moving on again to the next one. So here we've got kind of some of the bad guys, really, the Death Eaters. So we've got some of the Death Eaters there with their masks on. Second from the left there, we've got Lucius Malfoy. And again, looks exactly like the actor that plays him. In the middle, we have Bellatrix Lestrange. And just the movement on the hair, the crazy look on the face. Whoever's painted these has done a fantastic job. And then second from the right there, we've got Peter Pettigrew looking very rat-like there as well. So, yep, not much more to say other than the fact that they've done a grand job. So, on to another one. So, we've got another shot here of Hermione. It's exactly the same miniature as we saw before. But here we see her with a troll. I think this troll, if I remember correctly, this troll was... it was one that was found in the toilets in the first film, in the Philosopher's Stone. Pretty sure that's what that one is, but... Interesting that it's a model in the game, so... And you can see by the size of it, if that... We assume Hermione's probably about 36 mil, something like that. Maybe 35 mil. We're standing on our toes there. The troll looks like it's roughly double that. So it's going to be quite a sizable miniature. That. On to the next one. So here we see some of the resin. So I don't know if I mentioned this earlier on, but the models are going to be resin. They're not going to be plastic. They're not going to be metal. They're all resin models. It looks like the bases have some kind of cobblestone or wooden sort of bases to them. If this little token in front of them there's anything to go by, it looks like there's some maybe kind of sort of stone slabs. But here really does show off the quality of the sculpts. What it also shows in the background is it shows us the board that we're playing on. So as you can see there, it is played on a board and it's broken into squares. So I assume movement will be by a number of squares. What we can also see in the background as well is it looks like we've got some kind of a portion which says range of something. Hard to make that out what that is. But I'm assuming what you can do is you can upgrade your characters with particular portions. So let's have a look at some more resins as well. So here we have the Malfoy gang resins. Again, just showing just how good the quality of these are. And I'm sure even just with a basic paint job and a wash onto these, it'll really do justice to what they are. So in the background as well, we can also see there is, it looks like what's a spell card or a stupefy. We'll see another one as well when we come onto the board itself. But it looks like you're going to be able to upgrade your characters with spells and also with potions that have effects. So one really interesting picture is this one. So we see Harry Potter here. It's the original model that we saw painted up. So I'm assuming there's only going to be one version of each of the characters. But what's really interesting is the basilisk there as well. It just shows the sheer size of it. We see it swooping around underneath. I'm assuming this is going to be some size model. But what's interesting is it doesn't look like it's going to come in the core box, just by the size of the box. So it may be something that's a stretch goal or an add-on during the Kickstarter. But again, really, really fantastic sculpt. And just shows the size of some of the models that they're going to be going with. So let's take a look at the board. So what we've got here is, we can see it's cardboard tiles. I'm assuming they're double-sided. They're marked into squares, which I said before looks like it's going to be for movement or for range. It also looks like we have 7 character cards and there's 7 miniatures on the board. So I'm assuming that these sort of yellowy, creamy coloured cards that are sort of landscape, they look like the character cards. So 4 on one side and 3 on the other there in this particular board. We've also got some cards here at the bottom. We've got the one at the bottom there, which is the golden egg. If anybody remembers the films, this is the... I think it's like a trophy or something they're searching for in the Triwizard tournament in the Goblet of Fire. So there's obviously something, maybe they're kind of rewards of some sort. Then on the left hand side there, we've got something with the M on the back, which is it's the symbol for the Ministry of Magic. So maybe they're the spell cards potentially. Up to the top right here, we then have what is it's the Deathly Hallows symbol, so maybe that's bad things that can potentially happen during the game, who knows. We've then got what looks like is probably the potion cards, and then the ones that are beside the board here, I have no idea what those 2 symbols are there. Somebody with more Harry Potter knowledge than me might be able to tell me, so who knows what they are. What I will say as well is this looks like it's the rule book here as well, and it looks relatively thick for what essentially would be a board game. So I'm assuming that this is going to be a little bit more than just a board game, judging by the fact that they've got a whole range of miniatures there that obviously won't all come in the core set. It looks like it's going to be a really interesting expanded board game, should we say. And then the last picture we're going to look at here is just another shot of another different board layout. There's nothing really too much to add other than, because these are individual tiles, it looks like we can we can expand these. We'll have different scenarios. We'll potentially be able to make up our own scenarios. Also to the top here, it looks like it's potentially either something that will be blocking terrain or potentially a range, maybe a range for spells potentially, could be. Lots of tokens. Looks like we've got loads of tokens. We've also got D6 as well. So it looks like each player has 4 standard D6. And we've also got these couple of little doors on standees at the top there as well. So potentially just there just to show kind of where the exit from the game is. So really interesting there. Lots of information, lots of questions, still lots to find out. But the good news is that the Harry Potter miniatures that Night Models have been showcasing for quite some time look to finally be put into some good use. So we'll see that from the 14th of March, we'll see that the Kickstarter goes live, and I'm sure we'll see some more information from then. So there we have it, folks. Looks really exciting, doesn't it? There's a few noticeable exceptions there, I noticed, from the miniatures point of view. There's certainly no Hagrid there, which I'm sure everyone will be looking forward to seeing. And there's no Dumbledore either, and there's no Voldemort. So potentially there's still some more to be showcased. I'm sure there's many other things that we haven't seen yet as well. No idea what the rules are going to be like. Does look quite a thick rule book for what essentially would be a board game. Can't say it's going to be full of kind of background stories or anything like that, is it really? So that's going to be really interesting to find out a little bit more about it. So over to you guys. I know there's definitely one person who's been nagging me about this Harry Potter miniatures game. So Mark, if you're not watching this, I want to know why. Although you won't have seen this to tell me why. So somebody tell Mark, make sure that you've watched this, because I know you'll be excited about it. I just can't believe we've finally got some news after what seems like about 2 years. So let me know down in the comments, are you excited about it? And I'll see you in the next video.